Good morning everybody. It's finally stopped raining here in Normandy. That's why it's so green. By the way, I'll send some rain over to you if you haven't had some for a while. I know lots of you have said that it's baking hot and you want some rain. So I'm more than obliged to share my rain with you. So I'll send some over to you. Right, now before I start back in the cottage today, I just want to thank all my new members on Buy Me a Coffee, at Patreon, everybody that follows me, of course, new subscribers, and also a lovely young lady that done me some designs for my Patreon. She done some really thoughtful themes for each different level, and I do appreciate that, Daisy. I've meant to have mentioned you ages ago, but you know how it goes. So yeah, check out her designs, they're really great. And yeah, right, okay, what am I doing today? We'll have a little garden tour a bit later. Not been in the garden for a while. It's looking a bit like a jungle, so yeah, I have to focus my attentions on certain areas, but we'll have a look a little bit later. I've finally got the door hinges to put that door on. Been meaning to do that some videos ago, just to stop the driving rain going in there. I had a roof around yesterday. Bit of a mixed bag there. The barn roof, he said, needs stripping off and all new timbers, rafters, quite a lot of work in there actually. I said okay. He said, but I won't be able to even plan you in for 8 months for that one. I said okay, well the hole in the roof is not going to last that long. Can we just concentrate on the hole in the roof for now? So I said yeah, sure. I'm away on holiday, which they, you know, entitled to, and he'll be back at the end of August with the quote, the Devi. So we'll wait to see what the repair quotation is. Obviously I've got to have it repaired, but I think I'll probably go with that first, get it repaired, and then we'll reassess the whole situation afterwards. But I just need to get it watertight, you know, don't want no rain messing up all the stuff I've done. Okay, yeah, lots more going inside. I've got some insulation to do today, maybe some more render removal. So that's enough talking, let's just get stuck into it. Let's go. We'll turn the lights out. Yep, let's get some lighting sorted out. Lots of you have said lighting's better, but can you get some more lighting? So I certainly will. I'll get some lighting set up and we'll have a look round. And so just to give you a quick recap if you've only just joined the channel, this cottage project, now I started it as an off-grid project. Now what I mean by that is all the power, i.e. the electricity, isn't going to be from the mains. It's all powered by EcoFlow, which is a battery storage system which is charged up by the solar power of the sun. So all the lighting, all my power tools, it's all being powered, sorry, by EcoFlow. So thank you very much to EcoFlow. Yeah, I really do appreciate what they've done for me and the channel. So they are keeping the lights on, so to speak, and the power tools going. So once again, thank you EcoFlow. They're great products. I've had no problems with them whatsoever. I know lots of people, other YouTubers that use them, and yeah, they're fantastic products. Simple as that. All powered by the sun. Now it keeps the cost down for me as well, so I will try to maintain that right the way through the renovation. There won't be any mains electricity used, it'll all be the power of the sun, which might be a challenge because getting towards the end of the year we're getting lots of rain, but so far, touch wood, it's keeping me going. Okay, right, let's finally get this door hung on its hinges. So these are the hinges that I'm going to use. They're just very simple. You can just lift the door on and off. Let's see whether they fit. I know they will. Yeah, good to go. Right, I'll just get them on the frame. It's not going to be a good fit, you know. Let's be honest. It's just a makeshift thing until I actually get round to doing the door lintel and putting a proper door in. But doesn't need to be yet. May have to put on another one. Depends what stage of the project I'm at, to keep the weather out, you know. Sometimes it rains sort of sideways here in Normandy, so there's lots of gaps around there, but I can deal with that. Firstly, let's get this door on. It's just catching slightly, so I'm going to fine tune it with the persuader. Don't try this at home. It won't keep the drafts out. Drafts, not giraffes. But it'll certainly keep the rain out. Would you like to come into my humble abode? That sounds crazy, I just love opening the window now I've got one. Now, one thing I've learned over the years working on these sort of projects is sometimes you just have to take time and stop. Good excuse to have a cup of tea, but stop, look at what you're doing, think it through, plan your next stage, and it's well worth spending that extra 5-10 minutes just to take stock, make sure you're working safely. Is there any way that you can improve your efficiency and plan your next step? So, good excuse to just sit down for 5 minutes. It's not a race, it's a journey. Right, let's get going. So that's great that I've got the door functioning, but this area kind of concerns me here a little bit. Now the other side of this is the barn. Obviously we're in the cottage. Done a lot of repair work and wall rebuilding. Check that video out if you've only just joined, it's a good video. And anyway, digressing a little bit, but the problem is I can still see a big hole here. Now this plaster is loose, it's all falling down, so I'm going to take this plaster off. I'm going to open this area up here, see what's going on there, because there's a hole there, and that's not a good sign. So while I'm here, I think I'll strengthen up this area. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, the door lintel, which is the wooden section that goes above the opening, I do plan to raise that up, so I will be disturbing some of the stones here, which is even more important to get the surrounding stones absolutely as strong as they can be. So this area here needs addressing. Right, now before I start this, it's always important to consider your safety equipment, proper dust masks, ear defenders or earplugs, which I'm going to get in a minute because I keep forgetting, eye protection gloves, and take your time and work safely. Yeah, doesn't take any extra time really, but yeah, think of your health. So I've just been and got my safety equipment. Now while I was in there, I see this on the side. Now this is a little tiny charcuterie board that me and Tom purchased while we was in Germany. Now 2 videos back we done a Germany road trip in an RV, done some exploring and visited some fabulous places, Switzerland as well, separate video. But while we was in the Black Forest in Germany, we bought some of these as souvenirs. Now I bought 10 in total. Me and Tom are keeping one, so I've got 9 available in my website shop, welcome to seansworld.com. Now, I thought the viewers might like to have a souvenir of the road trip, so if you haven't seen that video, go and see the video, it's really good, the Germany road trip. So anyway, they're in the shop. Check it out, all the proceeds will go back into the channel, help me buy some more materials. Right, let's get that render off the wall. I'm just going to let the dust settle and I'll come back in and tell you what I've found, and it's not that great. Right, let's go outside. Okay, while the dust is settling, let's do a quick garden tour like promised before I get absolutely soaked. So just briefly before I do the garden tour, let's give you an oversight of the buildings. Now these two were once separate cottages, they've now been knocked through. That is our main dwelling. So 2 cottages knocked through to 1. Next to it is what I refer to as the barn. This one here, that adjoins our property and the cottage that I'm working on just there. Now the cottage renovation sits between 2 other ancient buildings, that one there, and like I said, the barn there. That's the one that's causing all the issues with the roof. So that's the renovation cottage. That's going to be another one. And that one there, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Might be a workshop down below and a games and entertaining area above. Not quite sure. Anyway, that's enough for the buildings. Let's take a little tour around the garden. So directly opposite the little cottage is my little pond. Now this was designed with several things in mind. One, we get a lot of surface water from all those roofs, and it used to come down here through this area here and used to flood down there. So I dammed it up here, built a pond, and that's the result of it. So what I did down there, it's a bit overgrown at the moment, but there's like a sunken garden there which we call the dell. There is a pathway that I made through here with stone, but brambles have overtook me once again. So opposite the cottage is our little greenhouse. Now I constructed this from recycled windows, bought a few bits and pieces, but the cost was quite low on this. Recycled door, and once again it's like a jungle. There are all the tomatoes, there's lots of other stuff down below, herbs and all sorts in here. But yeah, my son Tom has been tending this, he's growing all sorts of chilies. Now let me tell you, he has green thumbs and green fingers. I'm covering all bases there. Okay, so that's the greenhouse. To the right we have several, what I suppose you'd call open hangars or barns. That's my storage stroke junk area. Now in one of these barns up here, this one here, it has all of the timber work for a lovely ancient hay cart. Probably a bit difficult to see at the moment, but that's the sides. There's lots of other components under there. There's an ancient cider apple pear press here with a big ratchet mechanism there. That belonged to this farm, and they used to press their own apples and pears and make perry and cider calvados. So we're now on the other side of that open barn where I just showed you the hay cart sides. Now in the barn next to it, which is this one, probably hard to see, but the chassis and all the fittings and everything for the actual hay cart is all here. Now in future years I do plan to get that out and build it all back together, but that's another day. Okay, let's continue our garden tour. At the entrance here, this mound here is all the clay that was removed from the rear of all these buildings. We'll talk about that shortly. So that eventually will be gone, although it's good for wildlife at the moment. Through there is open orchards, and then up we go. Now virtually all of this that you see I created from scratch. It was just a blank canvas, none of these trees were here. This this plum tree was here, but none of this was here. All that you see here I've planted. There's little hidden ponds everywhere for wildlife. There's one in there, and there's one in that jungle there. Okay, so we proceed through here. We have peach trees, lots of willows because they take up all the groundwater. Now just through here, oh, there's another plum tree. Have some of them soon. Now this tree in front of me here is a willow. It's quite a height. Now I took a cutting off of a tree just down the track. It was only a little limb like this. Planted it there, what, not even 10 years ago, and now it's huge. There's lots of birds in it. So yeah, they are really easy to graft. Now this one is not so easy. A friend of mine gave me this when they moved, and I removed it from their garden. I think it's an Acer or a maple, and it's very reluctant to do anything. I think the top section of it is actually died off, but it's still alive, which is a good thing. Okay, now a little track through here. Now we're the other side of the pond now, in the area called the Dell. Now there was nothing here. I dug all this by hand, planted it all up, but it's a bit overgrown. I've got a bench there. It'd be nice to sit down, wouldn't it? Not today. And there's a little track through here, and that leads to my wood store, which I can't get to. Anyway, in the distance is the cottage, so we're quite sunken here. We've got apple trees and vegetable gardens. So quickly out of here, we come through what we call the mini orchard. We've got about 12 little fruit trees in here, pears, yeah, sort of deformed pears. Some are doing better than others. Oh, it's okay. Pears, we've got cherries, sour cherries, plums. Oh, look at the plums. This is giving this year. Wow. It's never fruited, that tree. Amazing. Okay, we've got plums there. We've got sloes for sloe gin. Nice. Anyway, you get the picture. Lots of vegetables planted up here, and then we go through here. I've kind of zoned off the gardens. They will all be interlinked with these pathways. I'll get around to doing it. This was another little recent garden area that I created, and that, for new viewers, is the oak A-framed barn that I reconstructed. It's quite unusual because the roof either side opens up and is perfect for stargazing, but not today. So then we've got an open grassed area here. There's my ride-on that's give up the ghost on me at the moment, and we overlook open orchards. Now it's all organic trees and farming methods here, no spraying, which was a big bonus for us buying this property. And there's the lovely views out to the surrounding countryside. So that's a brief overview. Now let's get back inside and let me show you what I've just found in that wall. It's not looking good. So in we go back into the cottage. Now there is more sections of the garden, different areas, but I didn't want that to drag out too long. Right, let's get back to the job in hand. Switch those lights back on. That's better. Okay. Not so sure it's better that I can see this. And there we have it. All of the defective infill has gone, leaving a gaping hole through the wall. Now I knew this was a problem area, so it comes as no real surprise, but I wasn't sure how far up the stonework went. Or it goes to there, and the rest is just lath and infill. Okay, so that is yeah, a little bit of a drawback, but I can deal with that. So I can't deal with this section here until I get some extra materials. So I think I'll go upstairs and do some insulation. Before I forget, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Right, that is it for this video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.